I was still taking care of the people, the wounded, you know, and there was still all these moral issues out there, and so I really kind of went into quite a bit of questioning and, you know, reflection and thought, and bit by bit I transformed over the course of the summer or a winter or whatever time, I don't remember what the season it was, but at any rate, over a period of time I kind of transformed, and I finally decided that I should be a conscientious objector. Not the kind of conscientious objector that gets out of the military, because I didn't even know that there was such a thing, I don't think, but the kind that doesn't carry a weapon. Because my thought was that I'm willing to do my duty. You know, I mean, you know, I believed in service and paying your dues and all that kind of business. I'd been raised on all those concepts, so they didn't seem so bad to me. But on the other hand, I really didn't want to be the guy who was responsible for putting a human being into a hospital bed in the same way that my patients were. You know, I mean, it just, you know, I just decided, and I had trained as a medic, I had trained with conscientious objectors. So that's how come I knew there was such a thing, was because I had trained with those guys, and I had respected them, you know, as being guys who were willing to, you know, they were kind of mostly religious, humble, hard-working, good guys who, you know, didn't seem like assholes at all, and so I had respect for them. And their example back when I was taking my medic training kind of carried with me, and then at a certain point when I realized that I was against the war, well, naturally the first thing I thought of was, well, gosh, maybe I should be like those guys. I should be a conscientious objector and not, you know, not be the one that's killing, but just the person that's patching them up. And so I just, you know, I thought it over, and I went to my commander, and who was like a lieutenant or something, and I kind of poured out my heart to him. I said, you know, I feel like I'm turning against the war, and I'm this and that, and, you know, I mean, he was my authority figure, and I was raised in a military family, and so the idea of going to your commander and talking things over was kind of like going to your dad and talking him over something, and, you know, I mean, I think back on it now and I kind of laugh, but at the time it seemed like a reasonable thing to do, and I kind of poured my heart out, and he says, don't become a conscientious objector, don't file for that. He says, you can do it, there's a form, we can give you the form, you know, if you want to go that road, you know, you can do it, but don't do it. He says, look, you're already a medic, nobody's asking you to carry a gun, you know, all it's going to be is like a meaningless position for you to take that won't actually change anything in the real world. I'll never ask you to pick up a gun. So, okay, cool. But I thought more about it, and finally I decided really I needed to take the stand. That was the Individuals Against the Crimes of Silence thing was kind of riding in the back of my mind, and I felt like I needed to take more of a stand than just sign a piece of paper, much as I thought that was cool. You know, I was glad to have done it, and I just recently ran across my Individuals Against the Crimes of Silence little coupon, you know, with my, I just, you know, I had saved, somehow, I don't know how I managed to save that over the years, but I did. But at any rate, I thought I should take more of a stand, and so I finally went back and said, I'm going to file to be the conscientious objector, you know, and just not carry the gun. So they gave me the papers, and I filled them out, and of course I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I said, actually a legal proceeding, and, you know, you've got to have, really you need a lawyer, and you need help, and I didn't have any of those things, and so I did a terrible job. And my penalty, I mean, of course, and they rejected my application, and pretty much shortly after they rejected my application, I got orders for Vietnam. It's kind of like, that'll learn you. And along with that came an order that I was supposed to report to the firing range to familiarize myself with the M16. So I went to my commander and I said, you told me man to man that you would never ask me to pick up a gun, and here's your order to go to report to the firing range to pick, you know, to familiarize. I said, what's up? He said, well, I'm not going to tell you to pick up the gun. He says, the colonel will tell you.